Today we are celebrating 2 years since we reopened the doors to this church, and what a 2 years it has been. From launching into our freezing cold building site and having 350 people in our first week, to having 2,000 people come to our Christmas services and sing-alongs last year, using so much haze and smoke machine at our first birthday, we reduced the visibility in the building to about 2 meters. Hawaiian team thank you parties in our back garden, students' weekends away, terrible out of tune singing along at a silent discos, gin tasting around a fire pit, focus, confetti cannons, drones and flares, and so much more. And then this last week, baptisms. Genuinely one of the greatest evenings since we have moved down here. And we thought, what better way to celebrate our second birthday than to baptize 5 new Christians, because ultimately that is what we are all about. We are about people discovering that the way of Jesus is actually the way for them. And as I think back over the last 2 years, I remember that Hannah and I moved down here with our then 9-month-old kid and 8 people on our team. And if you'd asked us at that point, yes, we would have said, we've got a great vision and we've got big dreams. But if we were also being realistic with you, we would have said something more along the lines of, well, we'll give it a go and we'll give it our best effort and we'll kind of see what might happen. And as I think back to that small beginning, this verse comes to mind in Zechariah chapter 4. Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. God will take your mustard seed of faith, your 5 loaves and 2 fish, your small step in the right direction, your team of 10, and he will multiply, and he will multiply, and he will multiply your small beginning, because he is a generous, loving God. I want to talk today very briefly about a small beginning that each of us can take. And that small beginning is one of invitation. Notice the thread in everyone's baptism story today. Each of their journeys towards Jesus started with a simple invitation. Someone invited me to church, someone invited me to Alpha, and now we sit here today under the sound of their voice, telling their story of a changed life. Every invitation that you make is a small beginning of possibility. It's a small beginning of potential hope and potential transformation. And as we do so, as we make those small beginnings of invitations, as the passage explains, God delights as he sees us playing our part in the renewal of this city, in the renewal of our friends' lives, in the renewal of our families, our relationships, the way that we interact and live with one another. Jesus tells his disciples there is a harvest out there. Meaning there's low-hanging fruit. There are people that are interested. There is something that people are looking and longing for. The work, pub, sleep, repeat cycle only works for so long for people until they start to question. And he says, there is a harvest out there. Are you willing to go and invite? Are you willing to go and extend that message of hope and good news? And the thing is about an invitation is that it is such a small thing for you to do, but it could have an eternally huge impact. These stories that we've heard today, this celebration that we have watched together, that could be one of your friends. That could be one of your colleagues or your family members. So why should you invite a friend, a housemate, a colleague or a family member? What if they say no? What if they say, no, that's so weird, why would I want to do that? What if they make you feel embarrassed or you make them feel embarrassed? What if you invite someone to church and they come on the Sunday that we happen to be doing communion and we're drinking blood and eating bodies and we sound very culty? That was actually from past experience that particular time. I'm going to be straight with you. When you extend an invitation to come and explore faith, you are taking a risk. Some of those risks are bigger or maybe not so big, but you are taking a risk. But what if they come? What if an invitation, a small beginning that you extend today turns into someone coming along to church? What if actually they don't come, but it leads to a conversation of what is your story? Why is it that you're passionate about what you believe? What if they do come and they love it? What if an invitation that you make leads to this time next year, you're sitting under the sound of your friend's voice, speaking about their changed life, speaking about their new future hope and purpose and dreams and desires that they have in the way of Jesus? Do not despise the day of small beginnings. Don't deny the day of small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. You might be thinking, well, why me? Why should I invite people? Well, Jesus' view on that is this: for freely you have received, and so freely give. If you follow the way of Jesus and you have any sense of peace from that, if you take any encouragement from his presence, find a sense of purpose from his calling, find joy and contentment from a life lived with him, well, that gift has been given to you. But it hasn't just been given to you. It has been given to you so that you can freely give that to others, freely extend that invitation to others. So let me ask you this: who could you invite? Who might one day be sharing their story on a day like this because of a small invite that you made? We are a people of invitation, following the way of Jesus, playing our part in the renewal of this city.